Hello out there to you. We've got a problem. We're trying to figure out what's going on with an excise tax. A little more complicated than usual, or at least we don't have quite as much information. So we've got a $20 per unit excise tax on some product, supply and demand. So that's how I've drawn both of these here. Okay, and then the tax decreases consumer surplus by a total of $18,000, decreases producer surplus by $18,000. The deadweight loss of from the tax is $4,000. We want to know what the difference in quantity is from where to where. So like, where are we here versus where are we going to decrease? So what we need to do is line up a supply plus tax. So that's what an excise tax is. So it's you could think of it as a shift. Well, actually we do know what the tax is. The tax in this case is $20. So it's like S plus $20. And so at this quantity, we're now $20 more expensive. So this would be the distance between here and here is $20. And then also the distance between here and here, whoops, has to also be $20. Let me use my trick here. Go like this. And then we'll just make it a dotted line. Okay, so something like that. So the distance between here and here and here has to be 20. Okay, those dotted lines. Okay, distance here and here is 20, and the distance here and here is what we're trying to figure out. And then the deadweight loss is this whole area here. So this area we're told is $4,000. Okay, and then furthermore, we're also told that the loss in consumer surplus from the tax, so like it's important to note here that this is PB. This is the price the buyers will pay. This is the price the sellers get to keep. So the loss to consumer surplus is going to be the area right in here. Okay, and so we know that that entire area is $18,000, and then this purple area right here, this is the loss to producer surplus, that is also $18,000. So we know that the elasticities are the same because they're both losing the same amount there. Now since this triangle here is 4,000, then it means that half of that loss has to go to the consumers, and then half of it has to go to the producers. So that we know now that this is 2,000 and this is 2,000. So that means that this must be 16,000 and this must be 16,000. Okay? Because 16,000 plus 2,000 is 18,000, and 16,000 plus 2,000 is 18,000. So we now know that the tax, we know what the tax revenue is. The tax revenue, if you were to calculate it, is going to be this red right here. Okay, that's the tax revenue collected by the government. This will be the new consumer surplus. This will be the new producer surplus. Okay, so this plus this is 32,000. So tax revenue equals 32,000. And then tax revenue equals the amount of the tax times the quantity. So since I know that tax revenue was 32,000, what I can do is say, okay, 32,000 right here, and then divide both sides by 20. And I got 32,000 divided by 20. Let's just make sure we get it right. 1,600. Okay, so 1,600 is the answer right here. Okay, so that's the new quantity. Okay, now I need to know what the deadweight loss is, or rather what the how much quantity there was before the tax was imposed. So it's the front end of whatever this triangle is. Okay, so I know that this part is 20. I know this part, but I don't know this part, but I also know the answer. So what I could say is that I know the deadweight loss is 1/2 base times height. In this case, I know the base of the triangle, if you're looking at it from that direction. We know that this is 4,000. This is 1/2. Okay, and so this is 20 because we're marking up the price by 20. And then what we don't know is the change right here. So like what, like I call that H, right? So so H is the change between here and here. It's not the total value, but it's the change between here and here. So this gives me 10H and then 4,000. And so H now represents the height of that triangle is a difference of 400. Okay, so 400 more is going to be 2,000 right here. Okay, and so that's how to calculate the quantity decreased from 2,000 down to 1,600, and that's how we solved that problem.